So it happened this past week in Everett, Washington.
What happened?
Well, 13-year-old Fifi was in the driveway.
Okay.
Amazon driver drops off a package, and then Fifi likes following the Amazon driver all around. And then the Amazon driver starts petting Fifi.
Fifi's a dog.
Fifi's a cat.
Okay.
Do you think there's a dog by the name of Fifi?
I thought it was a human when the story started.
Well, here, we're showing a little bit of the video for everybody who's watching the podcast on youtube.com/Kim Komando. So, so obviously there's a bond between these two.
She likes Fifi.
But what happens is that, well, the Amazon driver disappears, and guess who else disappears?
Someone took Fifi?
Fifi.
Catnapped?
Catnapped. But Fifi's owner, she's not overly concerned about it.
No?
I mean, she misses Fifi, 13-year-old, but she really thinks that Fifi's going to find her way back because Fifi is she's a strong cat.
She's going to find her way back?
Yes.
What if this Amazon owner's a better pet owner and they never let the cat out of the house?
I wonder why there wasn't a tracker on Fifi.
There should have been.
Yes, there should have been a tracker on Fifi.
You could have bought one from Kim. She'll sell you anything.
That was out of line.
Out of line.
That was out of line.
But accurate.
So here's the deal. So Fifi has been very active along the way. Fifi has done a lot of things. And so that's why the owner says, you know what? Fifi can break out of the house.
Oh, yeah. It's all Fifi's fault.
Okay. Fifi was caught in the hen house.
Like a legitimate hen house,
Yeah.
like where actual hens are?
It was a fluster cluck.
Oh, gosh. All this was a setup for one of your awful jokes?
Yeah. I actually have people that say, Kim Komando, you are so funny.
How much do you pay them annually?
No, Kim Komando, we just listen to the podcast and your show for the jokes. They
These
do.
people.
They just love it.
They have awful sense of humor.
Well, it's called Kim Komando Today.
It is.
And in case you're wondering, this is not the Kim Komando show.
It is not.
I mean, so many people ask me time and time again, is Kim Komando Today the Kim Komando show?
No one asked you that. The Kim Komando show.
Okay,
but the Kim
there was
Komando
one
show
person who did.
is your baby.
Yes.
You hold it and you caress it.
Yes.
You take care of it. You
Love
nurture it. 'cause
Love
it's on
it.
so many radio stations.
Well, 510 stations.
Right.
Just, all total added up.
And then the Kim Komando Today, is that like the adopted redheaded stepchild of the family?
Yeah, that's why you're here. Just saying.
Exactly.
And so we need a couple of things from each and every one of you. Like, comment, share, follow, subscribe, right?
Yes.
Just one person. That's it.
It's easy.
And also just a quick reminder that we are giving away a $1,000 vacation gift card, and you can enter to win right now. If you go to the special address, it's winfromkim.com.
That's easy to remember.
I know, because you kept screwing it up all the time.
Multiple times.
Okay, winfromkim.com.
I thought it was win for Kim.
I know.
Win cousin Kim.
Win Kim.
Win.
Wouldn't that be something?
That
You
you would-
could win me
What?
for like a lunch or a dinner or
You
something.
would never commit to that. Ever.
Yeah, you're right. I probably wouldn't. You're right.
That contest will only happen once they create clones. And Kim 5.155 gets to go out and be part of the contest.
Well, it's because it's so awkward.
Yes, it
Because,
is.
sometimes I'm at the yacht club.
Hold on. Let me prepare myself for another yacht club story. Yes, go ahead.
And, and people come up to me.
Plebes,
I refer to them as peons,
town folk.
regular folk.
Yeah.
And I look at them and go, how ever did you get in the yacht club?
Please, Joffrey, get these rubes out of here.
That is not true.
No,
All right, what do you
your
have coming
butler's
up?
name isn't Joffrey. You're right. We have a dating app story, a couple of them actually coming up. One about how to say no or what to do when someone asks you to go out for a drink and you don't want to.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There's some options now.
That's nice. Mocktails?
No, it's more on another level than
A
that.
higher level.
Yes.
A better level. And then we have a special guest. They're not paying for this interview.
They're not?
No. Just letting everybody know.
So I have to give the $25 back?
Oh, God, no. Is that longtime friends, sponsors of ours, Incogni, they have helped me so much. Meaning that, I don't get any spammy texts.
No.
I don't get any spammy phone calls.
I need to sign up for this because that's all I get. is
Okay.
Spammy text.
All right.
and
So
spammy
we're going to be
phone
talking
calls.
to the big dog.
All right.
The CEO is here from Lithuania.
Yeah. picked a great time to come to Arizona.
I told him. They said, I said, where are you guys going to lunch? Like, oh, we're just going to walk. They're going to walk to the. I'm like, you're going to walk?
This will be the last time we ever see them. They will spontaneously combust on Bethany home.
It's 85 degrees out today.
That's it. That's all.
Well, that's why I had to wear a jacket.
Sure. Yeah. It's cold out there. Sweater weather.
Absolutely. So they're going to be joining us. All right. So here's some things that you need to know. First of all, I know that you know this, but there's a political season that's happening right now.
Really?
Yes.
When is that?
I think it's heating up. There's this guy by the name of Trump.
Not familiar. I'll have to do some research.
And this one by the name of Harris.
Kamala?
And they are not talking nice about each other.
But we just had an assassination attempt, and they said they were going to be civil and bring down the rhetoric.
Not according to Google.
Oh.
Google says that if you search for it, you get Kennedy, Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan, Gerald Ford. No Trump.
No?
No. And because Google says that is political violence.
Okay.
But John F. Kennedy wasn't.
No. There's another story, too. Meta told someone that the assassination attempt on former President Trump never happened.
No.
No.
I was not watching that live on television.
Didn't happen.
Was I drinking that day? Day drinking?
They do say have a reason for it.
What is it?
It was a hallucination.
You know what? That is just a BS word from.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
and they just lean on it all the time, too.
It's like when something happens, like, Microsoft, we had this whole outage the other day with Azure.
Which is bigger than we even thought.
Yes. And then they said it was a glitch.
Oh, that's all?
It was a glitch. But then they came out and said, well, the glitch was really a cyber attack.
Oh, no. Yes. That's not a glitch at all by definition.
But a glitch sounds better than a cyber attack.
Oh, yeah. You can PR spin a glitch for days.
Hallucination sounds so much better than you're like just lying.
Error.
Okay.
Faulty software.
But people have to be aware that Russian propaganda is now infiltrating social media.
Of course.
Yes. And so what they're doing is they're posing as local news sources. So it wouldn't necessarily be like the phoenixpaper.com or whatever. Actually, like they're going to like microcosm. So it could be like the Ahwatukee Gazette. So they're setting up these like fake sites that are purporting to give you all your political news.
I have a relative that created his own fake newspaper so he could get into tech conferences when he was a teenager.
Did he really?
Yeah, so he could get media passes.
Is that the same one that did the eclipsed glasses?
No, totally different one.
Oh, because I
got some Smarties.
That was really, I have a Russian friend who's a sound technician.
Why does this feel like this is a setup for a joke?
And it checks one too.
Sniffed that one out.
He's so smart.
I knew it was coming.
Oh my gosh. All right. Do you remember? Oh, I know it was tough on you. And I don't mean to bring up something of your past that might make you upset.
Okay.
But do you remember that excruciating interview that you had to partake in before you had the opportunity to work with me?
The job interview?
Yes.
You mean the time we were sitting at dinner? You had a couple, and you turned to me and said, hey, do you want to work for me? And I said, sure. And then you didn't tell me anything. It was just hired on the spot?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I recall that.
Show up at 6:30.
Yeah, see you Saturday?
Yeah, see you Saturday morning.
I do remember that.
Way to go. Okay, well, now there's something called the magical teleprompter.
Okay.
Okay, so you're sitting there at home on a Zoom call interview. Okay. And so they say to you, like, so, Andrew, what are your top 3 traits that somebody would look at and go, oh, I want to be that person?
Right.
And so instead of you saying like, well, because I'm so incredibly handsome.
Sure.
I'm so incredibly smart. And I am a team player always. Is that the magical teleprompter would be right there and listening to the entire interview. And then will tell you exactly what to say.
Just to get the job?
Yes. And it's an AI. It's AI driven.
Right.
So it's listening to everything. And it knows that what you're applying for, what your skill set is. So
it's based on me. It's
Yes.
just not based on what this company wants to hear.
Yeah,
it actually will match up.
Yes, a magical teleprompter. Would you use it?
No, I mean I'm a pretty good conversationalist. I could answer those questions honestly. I think more of my personality would come out if I was being my true self instead of trying to read something. I'm also getting older, so I'd have to squint the whole time during the interview.
Yeah, that'd be bad. That'd be a bad sign.
That wouldn't help. I think they would be no. I was trying to read something.
Wait, I gotta make the text a little bigger.
Is that a T?
Was that? It was a T player. No, team player. Team. So, when somebody says to you, like, what's your 5-year goal?
I don't set 5-year goals. I know it sounds weird, but I've looked at my life and my professional career, and I went, if I set a goal at this point, I went totally in an opposite direction, I probably would have missed that opportunity.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is just me personally. I understand that people are amazing goal setters, and that's what drives them. I just look for opportunities, and if they approach themselves, I jump on them or I let them pass.
Okay, so this was a question that we had.
Now, as someone who hires, would that be an answer that you would discourage or accept?
I would like that answer.
Okay.
The thing that I don't like is when I interview people and they ask me, like, so how did you get to where you are today?
Google it.
I'm like, okay, how much time do you have?
Right.
Okay.
Because I love to talk about myself.
And this is like an overnight success for like the last, I don't know, I've been working since I was 16. What was your first job?
First job ever. Oh, wow. That would be 15 years old. I forged my age so I could be hired at a telemarketing call center.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Collecting donations for the municipal motorcycle officers of California.
Such a bogus thing.
Oh, it was such a scam.
That was
And
awful.
I didn't realize it until one guy, well, what percentage actually goes to the charity? I was like, I don't know. Let me look at the pamphlet. And I looked through and it's like 0.03%.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. My first job, I worked at Target.
Really? I cannot see you in retail.
I was I worked in the photo department at Target.
Were you taking in the pictures and then actually doing the photo work?
No.
Or you just send them off somewhere?
Send them off somewhere. But I was like helping people, like, buy the right camera and.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think I lasted 2.5 days.
That long?
Yes.
Did you quit or get fired?
I quit. Plus, that red jacket did not look good on me.
No. Especially when you're 16. It's all about the look.
That was just not good. All right. Finally, this. Have you ever yelled at your personal assistant? A virtual assistant, rather.
Oh, yeah. Especially when it won't turn off. We actually had this scenario this weekend. I was trying to play a song, and I have 9 Google Home speakers in my house.
Okay.
Just everywhere. And we wanted to play a song. The kids and I were playing a board game or something. And it started playing one song in the living room, another song in the den, and another song in the kitchen.
Okay. That's annoying.
Yes. And so we were literally yelling to get. My son lost his patience and started unplugging them because no matter what we did or say, it would not stop playing all 3 songs. And it was all 3 different songs.
Why was that?
I don't know. It was just like an error. So I reset them all. Everything's fine. But yes, I've totally yelled at them.
What I'll just do is I'll murmur like something like Siri, you're like stupid.
Right? Are you worried to hurt her feelings so you don't want to say it directly to her?
I don't understand.
See, I hate her.
She's not perfect.
She's like the only thing that listens to me, though.
What's that?
The only person who listens to me. Well, not that she's a person.
I didn't hear. What were you saying? I was totally got daydreamed. I wasn't even focused. I'm
Come
sorry.
on back. Come on back.
But you said last week off the air that you actually yell at your technology.
I do.
Printer has got to be the number one thing people yell at.
I don't print anymore.
Oh, a lot of people still have printer questions and printer problems.
I know. Anytime we talk about a printer, it's like, but like, how boring of a topic.
I'm not saying it's a good topic, but I think of all the pieces of tech, I think printers get yelled at the most.
I think so too. No, you know what? I think it's a toss up between that and like Siri or Alexa.
Okay.
Or, because Barry will actually have like a fight with her. God damn it. And I look at him like, what is that about?
And then you walk in the other room and do the exact same thing.
No, I don't really do like that.
Oh, you don't get angry?
I don't get angry.
Okay.
I get like frustrated.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Now, as it turns out, 1 in 3 Americans argue with their virtual assistant every week. 1 in 3. So there are specific states that are more angry at the assistants than others. So like, for example, let's see. What state do you think is like most patient with their virtual assistant?
I'm going to go with Utah.
No, Utah's 67% of people yell at it.
Really?
Yeah.
They're bucking the stereotypes.
Oregon.
Or, they're high. That makes sense.
They're all
You know
doped
what?
up.
Forget about it, Siri. I don't even care anymore.
Let's see. Arizona is 50%.
So half and half. All right.
Delaware 33%.
What's the meanest state?
Oh,
If Portland's the nicest, who's the
you
meanest?
try to pick the meanest state. What do you think the meanest state is?
I'm going to go northeast. I think it's definitely going to be something in the northeast. New Jersey.
Okay, I would have said that. I would have said New York.
Okay, same
Okay.
area.
It's not the same. I'm from New Jersey. People in New York don't want to be associated with people from New Jersey, and people in New Jersey don't want to be associated with people from New York.
I said area. Here's another story. Long time ago when I first started here, Mike James was running the show, and he's like, "Hey, I have a task for you." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "We need new bumper music for the show." And so I went and I got a bunch of songs, and a couple of them had New York in it.
Yes.
And then we played them, and you came out, and you're like, "I am not from New York. I am from New Jersey." So it's not just New Yorkers that don't want to be
Yes.
associated.
I've always had trouble expressing myself. And I think as I get older, I'm better at expressing my inner emotions.
Really? By older, do you mean when you went from 3 years old to 4 years old? Is that when you had that transition of expressing yourself?
Wisconsin.
What?
Yeah, I was really surprised about that. Wisconsin is the state that really fights the most.
How can you yell at Siri with that accent? Oh, Siri, why aren't you listening to me? I said, what's the temperature outside, Siri?
Speaking of temperature, you know this story, but if you go to blueprint.amazon.com, love that. Have you tried that yet with your kids?
Not yet.
You haven't?
No.
Why not?
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, you don't know what that is?
I don't.
How can you not know what that is?
Tell me.
Okay, so you got your Alexa speaker, and you can ask it a question, and then you can say what you want Alexa the answer to be.
Okay.
Okay, so like for example, if you're in our house and you say the A word and you say, "Who is the best mother in the entire world?" Alexa will answer, "I have searched far and wide. I've gone through the great depths of many different areas. I would think that it would be Mother Teresa because of her extreme kindness and willingness to help the poor."
Is this when I'm supposed to start yelling at the speaker?
And then she says, "But my conclusion is that the best mother in the entire world is none other than Kim Komando."
Who wrote that?
I have no idea.
Oh.
It's just, okay. So, but the best one is, so Barry, every day, Santa Barbara. "Audra, what's the weather like going to be today?" And so, I've been tired of hearing this every day because, Santa Barbara, let me tell you, every day in Santa Barbara, it's between 65 and 75 degrees every day.
Sounds pretty perfect.
It actually is.
Yeah.
Okay. It rains a little bit, but pretty much you can count on 65, 75. It goes down a little bit at night, maybe 50, so you can wear like a nice jacket.
Okay.
Especially when you're at the yacht club.
Obviously.
So anyway, I programmed Alexa to say, "Are you a dope? You live in a glass house in Santa Barbara. Look out the window."
First time he heard it, how did he react?
He was like, "What was that?" and he's like, Kim, get out of here. Kim, something's wrong. Somebody hacked us. Somebody hacked it. Somebody hacked it. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. But this is the same guy that said, because I set up a new wireless network at the house. And I didn't have a chance to go over because I got to put all of his crap on the network all the time because he can't do it. So before I had a chance to do that, he comes running in my office and says, Kim, there's something wrong. I'm like, what? And he's like, "There's a wireless network here called FBI surveillance van. They're watching us." And I'm like, "That's me, you dope."
You're so loving.
You tell you've been married a long time.
Exactly. When the torture you put on each other is hilarious.
It is. Oh, he's not good at it.
No?
No. Mm-mm.
Here come the guest. Do 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 do.
Do 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 do. So Darius, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name.
Oh, it's not worth trying.
How do you say it?
So I would say it's Belejevas, but
Yeah, I wouldn't try that either.
yeah,
Okay, wait, let's do that on the air. That's fine.
yeah.
Just gotta wait for the door to close.
You got to wait for the door to close.
We're good.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Did you hear the door?
I did.
Okay.
Don't go, don't go.
She's so cute, isn't she, Mads?
She's great.
She is.
She's my 4th favorite employee here.
I'm, of course, number 1.
Of course. It's in my contract.
See, it's those little clauses that make a difference. Much better.
Looks good.
Got to wait for the door to close.
Once again.
Here we go. Then we have to wait till she goes and sits down. Because then she can say, okay, we're ready.
Been here before.
Hey, it's Kim Komando Today. It's your fun podcast about all things digital. And just a quick reminder, if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, well, you can actually watch us do the podcast at youtube.com/Kim Komando. We're like everywhere else, Rumble and Facebook, but really the easiest place to watch the podcast is at youtube.com/Kim Komando. And as I mentioned, this is not the show. And so many people are sitting there probably right now, Andrew, wondering like, well, if this is not the show, how do we get the show?
How do you get the
Well,
show?
wherever you get your podcast, just search for Komando with a K, of course.
I knew that, but I knew you wanted me to just ask you that so you could plug that. So we did it. Good job.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, if you notice, there's a person sitting between us.
Oh my gosh. Hi.
And so Darius is the CEO of Incogni. Now, Incogni is a sponsor of the radio show, but Incogni is not sponsoring this podcast.
No.
Just let you know.
Yet.
So, and Darius is the big dog there. He's the chief executive officer.
Nice.
And Darius, so how do we pronounce your last name?
I would try Belejevas.
You could try that. So every single time we need someone to say it, we'll just have you say it.
So
Yeah.
we'll just say Darius. How about
Darius
that?
Yes, please.
Darius B work?
Perfect.
How about
Perfect.
this? How about just Dar?
Oh, yeah. We can shorten it.
Okay, so here's how I ran across Incogni.
Okay.
Okay, so Ian is my son, and he went to school at USC in Southern California. He's now graduated. Thank God. So much money every year. I'm just saying. Okay. And so he was driving around LA, and he's like, Kim, when Mom, when
Miss Commando.
that's really how he should be saying it. I mean, would somebody give me some respect already? He said, Mom, when you were living in LA and working for Unisys, what street did you live in? And I'm like, gosh, I don't know. That was like a long, long time ago. I don't even remember like what I had for lunch yesterday, right? And he's like, oh, don't worry, I'll find it. I'm like, what do you mean you'll find it? And like within 30 seconds, he's like, oh, you lived on Lynbrook. I'm like, oh yeah, Lynbrook. And he's like, do you remember the house number? Like, I have no idea. It's like 12,000. He's like, oh, it's like 12,052. I'm like, how do you know all this? He goes, oh, it's on the internet. It's on the internet. And I said, so what else is on the internet? He goes, oh, about you? He goes, oh, well, your name is Kimberly Komando, your age, how you're related to Dad, your mom, your sisters, your brother, what our home address is, what the office address is. We had a landline.
And that was on there?
I was on there. And my personal cell phone number.
Well, that's not important. That's not something you need to keep from people. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Right. And so
It actually, though, is the moment you do that. One of the whitepages.com, that's one of the
Yep.
pages that has all our information. And you see all your past. It's a shocker.
it is.
It's just
I
like.
feel like violated.
Absolutely. Like this is stuff, especially, I mean, we're both, I'm on the radio here in town. You're on the radio everywhere, which you bring up every 10 minutes. And this is, you do feel for a second a little unsafe and insecure that your exact location, where you're standing at that moment, is
Right.
available to the planet,
Yes.
not just everyone else.
I know, and for free.
Yeah.
You don't even have to get an account. You just go to this website, you type in somebody's name, and then suddenly it's there. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to take it upon myself and do a public service for all of our listeners and all of our viewers. And every week we would have Opt-Out Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay. I'd find one database that I was in, and I would figure out how to opt out. Let me tell you, they don't make it easy. Okay. They make you like send an email, fax your driver's license.
Yeah, you just give them more information.
Okay, yeah.
The place that's putting it all over the internet, you're just going to hand them more.
Okay. Send them a letter in the U.S. mail. Send them a copy of your passport, your blood type, whatever it may be. Okay.
I'd have been out after step one.
Okay. So we did this. We did it for like 12 weeks. Okay. Then what happened? They started changing the instructions on how to get out because they figured out what we were doing. So they made it like they changed the website. They changed this. They changed that. And by the way, in order to find out how to opt out, you have to read like those terms and conditions, the privacy policies.
Nobody reads those.
Okay. Which they don't want you to opt out because that's how
Yeah, that's your business
they
model.
make money. So after 12 weeks of this, I was like, this is just not a good thing.
And 12 is only like the tip of the iceberg, right?
It's not even the tip of the iceberg.
It's a particle of dust on the tip
Yes,
of the iceberg.
Exactly. So that's when I went looking around. Like, there's got to be a service to do this. There's got to be somebody who can help me do this. There's got to be somebody who could help all of our listeners and all of our viewers get their personal data out of these databases because, number one, it's for your safety. Okay. Also, it's like identity theft. Okay. Stalkers, creeps, anybody. And so I tried another service, Delete Me, and I didn't really like it.
Didn't work?
I found it very cumbersome.
Okay.
Okay. And I also didn't think it was intuitive. And so then I signed up for Incogni. And I was like, not that you're just not here, Darius.
Yeah, just pretend he's not here.
Is that it's great. You give it some basic information in like a couple of minutes, and then I'm sitting there going like, "Oh, this can't work."
Right.
This is
Too
not-
easy to work.
Yeah, it's too easy. And then I'm just going to stick with it because I'm going to tell everybody what a bad service this is. Because there's no way that they can do what they say that they're going to do. There's just no way. Okay. So I go home, so I do this at work. I go home, tell Barry. He's like, "Oh, all right, yeah. You'll meet Barry." And he's like, he's a curmudgeon. Okay. They say opposites attract. Okay. Everything's always happy. Like he always says, like, Kim, it's not all ponies, unicorns, and flowers all the time. Okay. And he's like that guy, like, oh, death is going to be right around the corner. Okay. He's like, oh, Kim, that doesn't work. That's never going to work. There's nobody who can ever do all that. It's not going to work. So then time goes on. And I'm not getting any spammy phone calls. I'm not getting spam texts. And I noticed that, like, even my spammy email, I'm not getting anything in the mail anymore. Not that we ever get mail anyway.
Right.
But no credit card offers or crap like that. And then Barry's like, so that Incogni. And then that's when we called you up and said, hey, we got something. And that I think that this is a great service. So right now I'm out of 212 data broker sites, people search sites.
Yeah, when I was looking on your website.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm at 231. 231.
Okay. It said it showed a screenshot of how you guys update the customers with the progress. Also, too, you set realistic expectations on the website, which I really appreciate, because it's not like overnight you'll be off all. It's like, here's the timeline.
Takes time.
Here's how it's going to take. But it showed on one of the update screenshots that you had sent out 538 different notices. There's that many places online where someone's holding my personal information?
Realistically, even more.
Wow.
What we also do, we need to repeat those requests. So this is also very important because if you would like use the service for a little while, yes, you can remove that information, but realistically, you're still online, you're using
Right.
the services, so it will come back.
Okay.
And it kind of requires a sort of regular cleaning.
And as long as I'm have my subscription active, you'll keep sending out those messages?
Yes,
Okay.
we'll do that. We're adding new data brokers. It's very much a sort of ongoing process.
Okay.
So how many of these sites actually exist?
So
Infinite.
yeah, like when we're talking about data brokers, so people's search sites is like one segment of it. So this is where you go in, you type in your name, last name, or someone else's name, and you get that information. There's 100 plus or so sites like that. A few dozen are kind of the relevant ones that generally feeds the information to the other ones. So it's kind of a web of information overall. But we also have even more data brokers that, well, what we call private databases, essentially, because you cannot just Google what they have. But you're using fitness apps, you're using dating apps, you're browsing the internet. All that information is being collected. And if you would go and read some of those terms of services and privacy policies.
Which I don't.
Nobody does.
Nobody does. Yeah, but often there's like a point. You agree that we will share information with partners and affiliates and so on and so forth. So this is how this gets started, and that information being collected and then shared, and then one broker collects one piece of information, someone goes for your LinkedIn, someone gets your browsing habits, and then that information is being traded between those. And the scary part is that at the end of the day, you have companies you have never heard about having elaborate profiles about you and doing,
You know, and that's I've noticed that because when you go on this dashboard, when you go on the dashboard, it tells you like all the different companies that you're trying to get my name out of or my address, and I look at them like going, because I think back to like the 12 weeks I was doing this of hell, that I was thinking like, you know, I didn't even know. And if you Google these names of these companies, because I've tried this, it's like it's a PO box,
Right.
you know, or something like that, and it's just a shell of a company that's making money by selling your, like you said, the apps, maybe your driving habits, maybe something that you put online that is affecting your health that could go to your insurance company. I mean, this is so interconnected that it's more than just like we talked about, like feeling that invasion of privacy, like I did, like seeing my cell phone number, my home address, and my landline. Which I still am the only person in America that I think that has a landline.
I think you are. You and the White House, the only ones.
You know why I have a landline?
Because you have an older husband.
That. But because we have an elevator.
Oh, you have to have a landline for your elevator?
Yes.
That's a way to brag right there.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
No, it's just kind of crazy that you need to have a landline, and
Right.
my landline was there. So how do you know how to get people out of all these databases?
so when
I mean, you must have like a whole bunch of people that are figuring all this out, right? Because they change their methods.
they change, but maybe to understand the sort of scale that we're operating right now, we're doing more than 1 million requests a week.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is not something that you can do manually. Yeah, what's really cool right now is that we can, like the data brokers have been using technology to collect this information. Now we can use technology to kind of fight back, to give some tools for the users. Because when we started, we tried a very similar approach. Like before building Incogni, let's try to do it manually. Let's see how it works. And
Oh, it's awful.
I don't think anyone lasted more than like a couple of weeks, because at the end of the day, like you have full inbox of random replies and
Right.
all filled with dark patterns.
Yes, and that's true.
What's a dark pattern?
Essentially, when you're not necessarily declining user, but you're making it so difficult. So just a sort of silly example, but we had one data broker that after you submit a request, they will reply in the subject line, your data has been removed. But if you actually click on the link, it says, to confirm your removal, please click on this link. And it's very unintuitive.
That's so shady.
It's very shady. It's very shady, and the whole. I don't know how we got to this point where every piece of information, whatever we do, is available for sale. And I use the word infinite, but I really, what I'm talking about is the number of data points that people are collecting about us is truly infinite because we keep creating more data points every single day.
Yeah, and if you would go to some of those bigger data brokers, say Axiom, in their marketing material, they have like, hey, we cover like 80-something% of worldwide internet users, and we have like 1,000 data points per user. I don't know 1,500 these things about myself.
No, I couldn't list them. I got a left foot. I got a right foot. I'm probably stuck at 10.
So now you also put people on the data suppression list. Explain what that is.
Correct. So this is some of those companies. What they do is so they don't re-add your information. They put you in the suppression list. So essentially, once the next batch of information comes to their databases, they won't add this person. So I think a smaller fraction of companies actually do this. So this is why we need to continuously repeat the process. But it's I think a very good thing overall. That just means that for this particular company, once it's the information that has been deleted, it's out.
Oh, good. I've actually had a conversation with someone about this, and we didn't know the answer. A people search website, one of those types of websites. Is that a legitimate legal business?
Yeah.
So what they're doing is perfectly legal. Ethical, maybe another argument.
But they're
what
buying,
they're doing is
the
legal.
data.
And posting it online. That's all legal.
Yes. Now their methodology is very sketchy.
Correct.
Because I like when you look somebody up and it's like, and they give you that progress bar, like scanning the internet, and it makes you look like they're really doing something. Like we're 60% there, 70%. It's like that's a dark pattern too.
Okay.
Yeah, and they don't market themselves like, hey, we're like a Stalker 101.
Right.
They market themselves as find your friends or something like that. So they're trying to put a positive spin on it. But I think, it's legal, but from the sort of ethical point of view, this is something I think as a company, you kind of need to be mindful about what side effects your business could have.
Well, it's a fabulous service.
I'm going to have to sign up.
You know what? You should.
Yeah.
You should. My iPad died, or else I was going to look up. I was going to tell you where to go because I wanted to see how much of your stuff is on.
I don't want to know. Ignorance is bliss. Let me sit in bliss. Because a lot's probably up there.
Yeah. I mean, they probably have, your ex-wife, your sisters,
Everything.
everybody, your home address.
I don't shut up. I blab it to anyone and anywhere. So I just tell you.
Yeah.
My cell phone number is 60. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That would be fun. That'd be fun. Well, Daria, thanks for coming in. Thanks for telling us about Incogni. Incogni.com. Again, they're not paying for this interview. I just really wanted everybody just to be aware that this is a fabulous service. If you do want to, there's a radio code, Kim60. You can save 60%. I like that you added the extra email addresses.
Absolutely. This is one of the features that our users have been asking. And now with one account, you can have multiple addresses, multiple emails support. So because this is just normal for us to have multiple emails. Maybe we live for
sure.
a couple of locations. So I think this is a very valuable addition.
So again, I get 0 spam phone calls, Daria. Thank you. 0 spammy texts. Love that. And plus, I feel better knowing that all this stuff is just not out there free for the taking, because it is. I mean, literally. I mean, I would look you up. Maybe we'll do that.
What's not? Let's say we did. There's a lot. There was a lot of stuff out there.
All right. So Incogni.com. Use code Kim60. It's a free 30-day trial, but I think you're really going to like it.
Cool.
Okay.
Good job.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now we got to do the next segment.
Do you want your iPad charger?
I would like an iPad charger.
They'll come grab you.
Good job, Darius.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I got no juice. I got
The juice.
no juice.
We got to be way over.
Yeah, what time is it?
11.
12.
12, 11, yeah.
12, 11?
Yeah. Yeah, we're at 41 minutes.
Ooh, we got to go.
Bang, bang.
Maybe I don't even need this.
Probably not.
Probably not. Well, since Wayne's here. It is a great service. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, it's going to take a while. There it goes. It's trying. Thank you, Wayne. We got to wait for the door to
We
close.
do. He's hustling.
He always hustles.
Every day I'm hustling. There we go.
Hey, it's Kim Komando Today. We're so glad that you're here with us. And just a quick reminder, make sure that you like, comment, share, follow, because that's really more important. I mean, it's very important because if you can just give us one more viewer, one more listener, yes, we love that. And don't forget to sign up for my free newsletter. Sign up at getkim.com because if you're not tech ahead, you're going to be left behind.
That's the first time I've heard you do that one. I love that.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That should be a T-shirt.
If you're not tech ahead, you're going to be tech behind.
I love that.
Getkim.com.
Gen Z and millennials, they got this new thing called Sober Curious. It's the Sober Curious movement. Have you heard of this?
No, I have not.
So it's basically people who think that they don't have an alcohol problem, but maybe they do. Maybe alcohol affects their lives differently and they're not even noticing it. So they're thinking about going sober to see what the positive effects are.
Okay.
And it's a really big trend with, again, Gen Z and millennials and on social dating apps. And people who are in this movement, when they're sitting there chatting and you're past, the first couple of how you doing, where you work, blah, blah, blah. Hey, let's go get a drink. Well, they're trying to be sober.
Oh,
That's not their lifestyle anymore.
right.
But they don't want to look like they're no fun. They don't have to make up a lie like, sorry, I have to take my dog to Mars tomorrow. So there's a company that has come out with a new dating app. It's called clubpillar.com.
Okay.
And I learned that pillar in Spanish means catch. So it's clubcatch.com.
Okay.
Sober. Everybody on the app is going to be sober. So there's no reason to ask, let's go get a drink, because no one's drinking. So you can't do that because you're going to get a no. Club Sober.
What do you think?
First of all, way too specific. I mean, this is like farmersonly.com.
Yeah, that's true.
There's not enough people on the regular dating apps. Like, there's dating apps that have 10 million people. And after 2 days, you've buzzed through everybody. Also, just communicate that you're not drinking.
Yeah, I don't think you need to go to a separate app.
Put it in your profile. Hey, I don't drink. It's not my thing. There's a little thing on most dating apps where it says, I drink socially. I don't drink at all. And I don't, maybe because I'm older.
I drink all the time.
Right, there is. There's an
Oh,
option
is
for
there?
every day.
Okay.
And, I think this is way too, I don't know if this is going to work. It's way too specific.
Well, I've been sober since 2015.
Intentionally, or you just never were, 2015?
Well, 8:15 last night.
I was like, I had wine with you like 6 weeks ago. I don't think it's going to work. I think it's way too specific. That's a good one. That was very funny.
Hey, it's Kim Komando Today. It's your fun podcast about all things digital. Just a quick reminder is that if you're trying to find the Kim Komando Show, just search for Komando with a K wherever you get your podcasts. It's brand new up there. We've not had the Kim Komando Show as a podcast ever until recently. So this is brand new. So to make sure that you try it out, you tell all your friends. And also we have our Daily Tech Update, which is a 60-second little radio feature, podcast feature. That's always fun to listen to too. So we're really getting into podcasts. Yes. So search for Komando with a K.
Another dating app story. This one's more about security, though. A research group tested all the major dating apps to find out if they could use malicious software, bugs, other features within the app and the site to pinpoint the location of users.
Okay.
So if I was someone who was, let's say, a stalker, and you were on there and I wanted to hunt you down, if you were on Bumble or Hinge, how close do you think I could get to your exact location?
Bumble or Hinge. Well, they have the maps on Snap.
Mm-hmm. Not considered a dating site, though. So that wasn't one of the ones tested.
Well, I'm just saying, like, the technology's there. It's pretty close.
How close do you think, though? What distance do you think would be too scary?
Anything under like 20 feet?
6.5 feet.
No.
Yes. Of the ones they tested, Grindr, which is
that's like how far we are sitting apart.
6.5 feet.
And that's like way too close.
That's a security problem.
Yeah.
Grinder, like one of the apps that tested the best, but that was still like 300 feet away. It wasn't that great.
6.5 feet?
Yes, 6.5 feet.
No, so
to
can
your
you
precise
see?
location.
Can you see that on anybody, or just people that you enable your permission? I mean, enable
Neither
location?
of which. It has to be someone who's using specific filters and software to use the app's location tracker to then get to you.
Oh, which means they can do it. If you're like some whack job, you're hooked up with some whack job
Right.
on the servers, they can come figure out where you are. Like
Easily.
yeah.
This is not, we're not talking about the Russian hackers that are doing this. This is people, anyone who wants to track you down. And this
is there anything you can do? Can you turn off like location services?
You can. You use your phone and say, do not enable. Now, there's some dating apps, though, that'll say no. We want to collect your data. We want to collect where you are. They say it's so you can use the service better. But if you don't enable where you are, then you won't be able to use the service. So that's a choice that you're going to have to make. You also can be vague about your location. You can put in a general area or a zip code that's near you that's not exactly you. It may be a little different or harder to use the app, but in a big city like Phoenix, there's so many zip codes, it would be fine. Not a problem. Smaller towns, it would be a problem.
Wow. I mean, you're better off just like going to a bar.
Seriously. But not if you're sober.
If you're sober, that's not going to
You're
work.
just messed up on all ends.
Forget it. It's not good for you.
Single for life. Sorry.
All right, folks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again on Friday.
Yeah.
I just said, I'm like, is it Friday? Is it Wednesday? Is it Monday?
Let's say it's Friday. I'm off for the next 2 days.
Okay.
See you Friday.